Hello, today I want to highlight 5 dolls in Revived Witch that either nullify an enemy's damage or outright cancel out their attack mid-animation. I feel like dolls like that are useful against story bosses specifically because we all encountered a boss that obliterated our well-leveled, well-geared up team in like record time. And if you haven't, then you will eventually. Of course, there are other strategies and tactics that you can use in this situation. Perhaps even leveling up and enhancing your team a bit more will do the trick. But then again, what if you don't have the time to improve your team? Say as in the case of events. Or worse, like in situation where you are able to hold your own against a boss, but nearing the end of the battle, it starts firing a high damage dealing skill at you that you can't counter. And just like that, the boss takes down your team one by one. So if the game is not gonna play fair, why should we? Cancel out the boss's attack or nullify that high damage attack and keep on pushing. It's a simple tactic, but it works. It works too well, actually, if you time the skill right. So yeah, timing is everything. I've actually seen a video of someone fighting against a boss, and using this tactic, they managed to suspend the boss for the entirety of the fight. The boss didn't attack them, not even once. It was kind of very funny. But anyways, here are 5 characters that nullifies damage. Starting this list with Witch. I won't linger on the Witch because she's the main character and the story brings attention to her skill when you unlock them as the story progresses. But in the chance that you may have been persuaded away from using her due to the existence of UR dolls, then you may not have bothered with her much. But yeah, her skill, Chronospace Gate, stops attacks from reaching your team, but specifically attacks that follow a straight line, so aerial attacks cannot be stopped with this skill. Her other skill, Time Freeze, is better in my opinion because yeah, whereas the first skill blocks the attack, this one stops it, so cancels out the attack. Moving on to McCain. McCain's second skill freezes the enemy's party, effectively stopping an enemy mid their attack animation. There's also a chance of her freezing an enemy if an enemy attacks her. This is connected to her passive skill. Next is Fallon. Most guardians have skills that redirect the enemy's damage to them, while also they reduce the damage dealt to them, which may make them seem like they're immune to damage, but they're not. And if a guardian's doll, Fallon included, is not at a good level, her shield may not be enough to withstand an enemy's attack. And yeah, they die. But Fallon earns her spot on this list because she does actually have complete immunity to damage, though only for 2 seconds, so that's on her skill barrier. If you timed her skill right and under the right circumstances, i.e. a boss that does extremely high damage attack, no one who spams attack a second, she can make your team invincible. Okay, now on to Suigitsu. On her first skill, she gives herself only immunity for 1 instance of damage, but I added her on the list because of her second skill. Her second skill, according to the game's description of the skill in the game, is supposed to target 1 enemy, but in practice I noticed that it stops multiple enemies, like it stops multiple attacks. Yeah, so with Suigitsu skill, this one also stops the attack. So if an enemy triggers an attack that you can't counter, this skill should help with that. And in case you didn't know, Suigitsu is an exclusive doll. She was purchasable during a past event, so she's not in the pool. But if you have her, then you have yet another doll that can stop an attack. Next is Helen. With Helen, her first skill gives immunity to an ally with the lowest HP for 3 seconds. But if you level her up until you're able to unlock her second level of her passive skill, then this skill, Rabbit Blessing, applies to the entire team. So this skill will now give your entire team immunity for 3 seconds. Last but not least, Nisar. Nisar's second skill stops an entire enemy's team attack, but there is a catch. This skill has a long casting time. Like, personally, I never paid attention to a casting time before, but with Nisar, it's way too long. Like, I have to use this skill way before an enemy's attack triggers. I think you will see in the video I kind of struggle with it because it feels like this, like you click the skill, Nisar says her line, and then the vines come from the ground and stops the enemy. So it's a bit tricky to get the timing right. Unlike most of the dolls on the lists, there's only a few seconds between the click of the skill and the attack, while with Nisar, I don't know, it feels slow. But yeah, if you want a UR level doll that does that and Nisar is your only option, then yeah, she's your only option. Okay, that's the end of the list. I've only included 6 dolls. Of course, there may be more out there, but yeah, I just listed the ones that I'm familiar with. Hopefully you found this video useful. Thanks for watching so far, and yeah.